The SaltDipped Podcast, taking life, business, and adventure with just a pinch of salt. Good morning and welcome back to the next episode of the SaltDipped Podcast. So today I've got Janine Corry joining me. She is a dynamic businesswoman, a serious amount of experience in the travel industry in particular.
Thank you, Tam. Thanks for your time this morning. I've been in the travel industry for 30 years. And
Brilliant.
19 years ago, I took the leap into self-employment. And it was a leap of faith, but absolutely the best decision I have ever made.
Love that. Yeah, exactly. So lots of travel experience and is an owner of more than one travel business as well, which is fantastic. So we've got 24.7, which was a business that Janine took through COVID. So she's got some experience in that and surviving, when the travel industry is just not your friend at that point in time. Beach Bums, which is all about getting people onto the beach, and then a beautiful Grand Prix project as well for all of those avid engine petrol heads who'd love to get up there. I mean, it's been amazing seeing all the guys coming out of Monaco now recently. I mean, we are in season. But yeah, Janine, I love the fact that you've got 3 different travel businesses and they all tick a different box, and you can see little bits of your love in every single one of them. How did you decide to sort of not fragment, that's not the word I want, but sort of, divide the businesses up and create those different brands?
24.7 is my baby. I started that in 2007, and travel has always been hasn't necessarily been about just booking tickets and hotels. It started because I saw a niche in the market for executive travel, board members, expo, high net worth people. They were looking for somebody to basically hold their hand and walk them through the travel process, taking all the stress away, etc. So that was my main focus for many, many years. That later evolved into incentive travel as well, which of course, as you know, is a great way to motivate your staff to hit numbers and then reward them with a really, really beautiful thank you. And that to me cultivates company culture, etc. Business evolved after COVID. Corporates were more hesitant traveling. So my focus shifted. It shifted slowly, but it did shift towards more packaged holidays. And that's where I created Beach Bums. Beach Bums is an island-focused product specifically to Mauritius and Zanzibar. It's my fun brand, bit of a split personality. I can be very serious and focus on corporate travel and business travel. And then I have my fun, let's go on holiday vibe. And I love that. I'm really passionate about certain products, specifically the Beachcomber brand. They have a beautiful array of hotels, and I like to associate myself with top brands. I'm very much quality and service driven, and that runs through all 3 of my brands. Then my Grand Prix offering, that is my heart project. I'm dedicated to my dad. He used to be a racing car driver, and I'm passionate about experiences. And let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing that beats a Grand Prix weekend away. Fumes, noise, the crowd, it just ticks every single box. And of course, they're all over the world. So very easily, we can put a package together. So it ticks those 3 days of racing and then go off to a city break or combine it with, I don't know, a cruise or something fabulous. Just so many things that you can do from just that one little weekend away. Adds so much to your experience.
I love that. And I think, you had that amazing trip out to Qatar last year for one of the races, which just looked absolutely amazing. What was your favorite thing about that? Now, what is that thing you want other people to go and connect with and experience there, other than the noise and the petrol? Was there something else that sort of, grabs you?
Just the atmosphere. Everybody is on a high. It's so difficult to put in words, but it's just the excitement that grabs you. Absolutely sucks you in. And I think whether you enjoy Grand Prix or not, in a way like that, to experience all of it is amazing. And of course, there are all the logistics that go into setting up an event like that. Qatar flyby. I mean, there's too many things to actually mention. It's quite incredible.
I think that always stuns me, like how they can seem to so quickly get a track up and down. I mean, in Monaco in particular, where, I mean, you are literally racing through the town. I think it's amazing that it can just be converted almost with so much ease and be a completely different experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's just, it gets me going.
Awesome. I love that you have those. But, and I think, it's great to have different offerings to take to clients. Business is not always the easiest thing for us to navigate, though. What would you say has been your biggest challenge in business?
So I would definitely say, without a doubt, COVID was our biggest storm that I've ever experienced. Virtually overnight, the travel industry came to a standstill. Trips were cancelled, borders were closed, and uncertainty, I think, became the norm. So I've always considered myself a little bit of a storm rider when it comes to business, not because I enjoy the chaos of it all, but it's because I've learned that through challenges is where your biggest growth happens.
True.
Yeah, so yes, COVID was horrendous. We went from booking tickets, booking holidays, etc., to becoming problem solvers, rerouting flights, navigating cancellation policies, trying to get people out of countries where borders were closed, and just being there really and listening. So it was tough, but we survived. We
Yeah,
survived.
and I think as the end consumer as well, COVID sort of just taught me, I'm like, now, why would I book anything without a travel agent? What if something happens? And, you're somewhere halfway across the world and you need that help and assistance to get back. I mean, we don't want to be thinking about travel that way, but it has become a reality, I think, where we've got to go, what's my exit plan should I need it? And who's got my back?
Well, exactly that. With AI and all these new technologies and the internet being so accessible to everybody, we've always had that fear that travel agents are a dying breed. We're absolutely not. The last couple of months with the Iran war, perfect example. Um, I fielded hundreds of calls of people that booked online. And the
Mm.
uncertainty again was just so overwhelming. What do I do? What is the airline cancellation policy? What should I do? Whereas if you book with a person, we have that information at the tip of our fingers and know exactly what to do. We often get information from the airlines before the actual clients do in order to navigate chaotic situations like the Iran war. I'm very excited to say that both Qatar and Emirates are almost up to 100% operational to all their routes. So that's a
Awesome.
positive.
Yes.
It's a positive. Qatar, the last 2 months, haven't had one cancellation, a couple of slight
Okay, wow.
delays. So the stats are good. Interestingly enough, I met with the Emirates sales manager a couple of months or weeks ago, and statistically, their bookings at that stage were up by 80%. Um, and of that 80%, 60% were booked through travel agents. Now, that is great news for us. It
That's
means
sounding
that the
very good.
general
Yeah, wow.
public are thinking about their choice when it comes to booking. Am I going to save a booking fee or am I booking with an agent?
Yeah, because I mean, once somebody's purchased their ticket or for something online, you can't get involved in that process at all. So that's what I understand from travel agents. Like if you haven't touched
That's
it, you can't get involved and actually help them properly.
that's exactly it. It's all to do with privacy protection and all of that. So as a third party, I can't assist. The airlines won't take my calls. I don't know what the rules and regulations around your airline booking was. Whereas with us, we know exactly what we're doing. And you don't have to phone the airline if something goes wrong. You phone us.
Perfect. And I mean, you've worked on some pretty big conferences and things like that as well, getting a lot of people all into one space. I mean, some quite insane business challenges if you think about it from that perspective as well. What's been one that you've really enjoyed putting together for clients?
I'm a sucker for group travel. Somehow I love the organized chaos. My biggest group that I've had to fly around was over 300 passengers. Yes, it's challenging, but we need to get correct names as per IDs. You need to coordinate flights, ground transport, accommodation, setting up the conference. So group travel is fantastic for me. I love that. I also love incentive travel. I've just had another Mauritius incentive, and it was absolutely phenomenal. The feedback I received was actually brought me to tears. So I was just like, oh,
Wonderful.
yes. And I think that's important these days in any business, is just to say thank you. When
Mm.
something goes right, acknowledge the partners involved. And that to me is really valuable. It kind of motivates you and keeps you going when you receive positive feedback. That's really awesome.
Nice. And from when you started your business to now, has there been any sort of mindset shifts that you've gone through or have experienced? Do you still do business the way that you did when you started? Is maybe a good way of asking that.
No, very early on in my career, I thought you had to have it all figured out. You had to have answers for everything. I
Yep.
now know that it's okay not to have answers readily available or immediately. You need to stay curious. You need to ask questions. You need to do research and just adapt with your clients. And that's okay to not always have the answer. And yes, every day is a learning opportunity, especially in travel. It's taught me to stay curious. So my day starts with catching up on travel industry news, new destinations, new technologies. There's forever something new happening in our industry, or it's forever evolving and changing. And that, I guess, is a valuable, that's important to me.
Yeah, and
So
it's
no,
a great way to also be able to customize it for your clients based off of, like you say, ask the right questions, and then you can get a better feel for what they really want and need. Because I think sometimes we don't know what we actually want until we've got options in front of us, really.
yes, and listening. I think listening is also really valuable. Um, Yes, because I mean, travel is quite personal. Clients trust you with their time, their money, and often a once in a lifetime experience. So, attention to detail, listening, and making them feel good. When people remember how you make them feel, right? And as soon as they've had a good experience and they trust you, they will organically refer people to you. I've never really done major marketing. It's mostly been word of mouth, although obviously marketing your brand is super, super, super important, especially lately. So, but I think it's how you make the person feel that is the
Mm.
most valuable in any business.
Like I say, I mean, exactly that. You cultivated those experiences and then it goes and gets you good positive word of mouth, which makes the world of difference. And yeah, like you say,
100%.
if you could be your own product and sell yourself very, very well, and then the brand is there to attach with it, which is a nice way of doing it.
Absolutely.
And other than work, what do you do to fill your cup? Like, what are the things that, if you feel like you've got to go and get some energy, or if you're just, consistent about it, where's your happy space outside of work?
My happy space is on the road running. I love it. You switch off. You think of absolutely nothing except that moment of pain and questioning your life decisions like, why am I doing this? But the happy hormones that kick in after makes it all worth it. And then, of course, spending time with family, friends. I love a good glass of wine and enjoying a great meal. Those are the things that make me tick. And how can you not in our area? I mean, we have the
Mm.
beach, we have the mountain, we have the wine farms. I just love it here. And there's always
Yeah, there's
something
plenty
to
to
do.
work with. I love what you've just said, sort of, with the running and it always just being painful and things like that. I've run a couple of times and I've never got to that point where you get that runner's high. So it sounds like it might not actually be in the process, but like you say, afterwards when you stop. But you've got a second
Absolutely.
comrade that you're training for at the moment as well.
Um, so I was meant to run this year, but unfortunately, doctor's orders, injury will go next year. Next year is the 100th comrade, so it'll be an amazing opportunity just to be out on the road with thousands of people. And I
Sure.
wish you
Yeah.
could bottle that entire Comrades Day because South Africa comes together in that day.
Mm.
There's no race, there's no sex, there's no title. Everybody is just a runner. You're a fast runner, a slow runner. Everybody comes together, passion, looking out for each other, hard support. It's unbelievable. 22 was my first comrades. It was the best day of my life. It was hard, but it was phenomenal. And it's a life-changing experience. It really is.
I've done the Cape Argus before, and like you say, it's amazing how different it feels when you're in that group of people. The crowd, yeah, so supportive, and I think also being female, it does help with these sort of sports as well. You do seem to get a little extra encouragement from the side, but then, yeah, like you say, just actually that energy that carries you. I think that group effect is just absolutely amazing if you ever get the opportunity to go and experience that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, that'll be my goal for next year, is to run another Comrades.
Perfect. Well, 12 months to recover and strengthen and get yourself ready, which is also good. I know it's frustrating as well when you've wanted to do it, but there's always a positive side as well.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, you're a surfer, and I guess you can relate surfing to business as well, right?
Quite often, yeah.
You can stand on the beach and study the waves forever, but eventually you need to actually paddle out.
Mm.
And then, yeah, some waves, I guess, knock you down, and this will carry you further out than you thought. But it all teaches you something in the end.
Yeah, it does. I think one of my things often is, you know, even if, because sometimes sitting out there, you miss the best wave of the day because you just weren't paying attention in that moment or something like that, you know. And I think that what I always love about that is like it's a bit disappointing, but there's always another wave.
Yes.
And starting to think like that in business as well was helpful. You know, you don't actually get to it's the end of the world, that hasn't worked out. There will be
No,
another opportunity. You've just got to be patient enough.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And do it afraid, right? It's like,
There's no
yeah,
ready.
starting. No,
It's like having children. You're never actually ready and you're never financially stable enough to decide it's a good idea. You just got to kind of do it.
they come with their own finance.
Yeah.
Somehow it just works out, right? And I think it's the same in business. I mean, you're never going to be ready to start your business, because what is ready, right? Just do it and roll with the punches, do it afraid, take every day as it comes. And even your failures, you should see as a positive, because you've learned something from that. It's disappointing in the moment, but in retrospect, you've learned something valuable. You probably
Yeah,
won't
there's
make
always
that
something
mistake
to take.
again.
Yes, yeah, like you said, that mistake's been sorted. Never again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Janine, if people want to get a hold of you to talk about their next either business trip or a holiday, where can they get hold of you?
Best is to WhatsApp. I'm on my phone 24/7. The company name 24.7. Travel never sleeps, right? 082 922 1000. Or you can pop me an email
Fantastic.
at Janine at 24.7. Co.za.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. What I'm also going to be doing with the recording is popping Janine's website details and some of her social media handles, so you can go and have a look and see what she's been discussing and getting out there as well. Janine, thank you so much for the time this morning. It's been lovely chatting about your business and your journey. And I can hear there's so many lessons that have been learned from it, but you're still loving the journey.